Hello everyone, good evening. This is Yogi here. Yes, everyone is saying happy 4th of July. So happy 4th of July, everyone, wherever you are. I hope you're well. So today, this is kind of a new project, um, and I'll explain a little bit how this came about. As I give you a summary for the for this piece. So this is a piece from. Let me just show you. Oh, it's just such a beautiful piece, beautiful design. Let me show you. So this is called Valentine Nook, and this is a mini version, and it's coming from one of my favorite artists from Heaven and Earth is Kim Jacobs. This is the same artist that did Dry Flowers. So you get that whimsical and the kind of quite loose style to the design, and is so pretty. So I got this pattern maybe nearly 3 years ago, to be honest with you, because all the mini patterns I kind of got in the beginning of my full coverage journey. And but I kind of just parked it there for till maybe a month ago. And the more I looked at it, the more I liked it. And I thought, well, how am I going to work on it? So it took me a while to kind of figure out. For some reason, I look at this piece, I'm thinking 14 counts. Somehow 25 just does not kind of jive for me with this design. So this is what I've got so far. Okay, so this is a strange pattern here, and I'll have to explain. So I started off working on the upper left, which is, if you look at the full markup, let me just show you there. From the upper left, which is a white area, and even that red circle, not circle, the rounded square is part of the design. So it starts from the upper left, the white area. So this one has a built-in frame look to it. And then I started there. So I used the saga to do the color completion. And I finished that bit. And then I was about to move to the block next to it. And let me bring up, I need to explain this. Let me bring up the markup again. So the block next to it and the block below is also kind of similar in color scheme. So at that point, I kind of go, well, I'll come back and work on it. You know, it's very similar kind of white background with a red strip around it, part of the frame. And I kind of just lost momentum there because it's kind of very similar in looks. Let me bring up the app actually. I'm using Saga. So let me show you what's happening. So I am going to flip this pattern here. Let me show you. There's a function. So this is what happens. So the empty squares are the ones, the areas I actually worked on. So it's a 6-block space, 3 on top, 3 at the bottom. And that's kind of my comfort zone. It's not too small, but not too big. So as I was going to move to the block, you know, the area, the same size area on the right, and then also below as well, they kind of look a little bit similar. So I was a bit stuck. Until, some of you might remember, we talked about checkerboard pattern. There's some artists out there, they're doing the checkerboard, they're doing one block at a time, and then they kind of skip a block and then just start to build that checkerboard pattern. So I took that as an inspiration. I go, well, there's no reason stopping me from moving to another section that I found more interesting, let's say. And but I didn't want to do block by block, and it's not necessary. You can use any defined, size area. So I decided to move 6 blocks at a time, as you see there, to the location I find more interesting in terms of color distributions, and in a way, in theory, I should be able to move to the center area a bit quicker. Let me just show you. And so the plan is not necessarily to form any kind of formation of shapes. I'm not going to go necessarily skip the next area next to the block I've stitched and below, etc. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just go ahead and just pick the area I'm interested in stitching. So that's the plan. And to be honest, I'm doing color completion within the area. It doesn't matter what I do. Within the area, it doesn't affect the surrounding area. Also, if you look at this, let me just flip it back. There's no parking. There's no parking here. So in a way, I can do whatever I want within the 6 blocks. It will have no effect of the rest of the piece. The only rule, though, I would have is I want the blocks to be either connected on the edges, either edges, or at the corners. So I'm not going to float off to the other side of the fabric and start stitching. I would not do that because it's too, if my luck is anything to go by, then I'm going to miscalculate the blocks. I'm going to end up with a very different design here. So the plan is to work on the blocks next to the areas I've already worked on, or connected at the corner like this one. So that's my only rule. So it's an experiment. It's an experiment. And so today I know which area I'm going to be working on. So let me show you the full view, right? So today I am going to work on, so this is the area I've just finished. I'm going to work on this area below. This is what I'm going to do right here. And the reason for that, oh, you see, I missed one row there. I've got to be very careful right there. Obviously, it's safe. It's right below. I would know if something is wrong, which it shouldn't be. So I'm going to lock that. And also, if I flip the design over, this is an interesting area. It's got a lot going on, different colors, and also a lovely heart shape there as well. So I like that. So moving forward, I'm going to just move this block, the same size block, wherever I want, as long as I kind of following my own rules, as long as the blocks are connected, the areas are connected. And from time to time, I will go back to do areas on top, the border area. There will be days, I crave for something a bit less stimulating, let's say. And I'll work block by block this way and see what happens. I have no idea. I can't really foresee any problems as such. I can't see that because these areas are isolated on their own. They stand alone. So this would be that's my thinking at the moment. So today, this is the area I'm going to be working on. So overall, this is a mini piece, but still quite a bit to go. And I'm working on, let me just flip back to the fabric. 14 counts, Ada. And I'm going to move down this area. So this will be today's experiment. I'm quite excited actually because it frees me from having to, push myself through the border area, which I might find not boring as such, but, kind of samey to this block. So with that, I hope you're well. Let me just quickly look at the chat here. Brittany, finally, you're joining us. And Brittany can really join us in weekend. So she's always looking forward to the session. Happy 4th. Yes, happy 4th of July, everyone, wherever you are. We don't, obviously, 4th of July is an American thing, but I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. And Rivers, hi everyone. Happy 4th of July, wonderful. And Rose is here as well, wonderful. And Steve is here, hi Steve. And Nikki Stitchy, of course, Nikki's here as well. And who else? I'm also working on new start. Oh, Brittany says, I'm also working on a new start today. I'm starting Once Upon a Fairy Tale. That's a very popular piece there. And wow, wonderful. So you can have the new start and joining us at the same time. Amazing. And Rose is working on Jelly World, which is a soul from Heaven and Earth. And wonderful, wonderful, everyone. Welcome. And we've got a new person on the chat the first time. Oh no, Dante, you've been here before, of course. Hello, is it Dante or Dant? Correct me. And oh, Joyce is here as well. Wonderful. Stitchy Dutchy, Joyce is here as well. I hope you're well. And right, I'm going to get on with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is to grid it with my fabric pen. So let me just bring on. We don't need a couple of moments. So this is kind of important part of it because this is not gridded, obviously. So I need to kind of calculate it as accurately as I can. I'm always a little bit scared. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see, I'm losing count already. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now it's looking good. The gridding will get a bit faster once you get a few lines going because you're just following the existing lines. So I need a 6 block area there. And this is obviously quite crucial in terms of, making sure the area that you're working on is accurate. Not a single row missing, not a single stitch missing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Imagine if you just miss one block, it's going to be not one block, even one stitch. It would be disastrous. So yes, so this will be the area I'm working on today. And don't worry about this pen, is water solutable. It will come off, no problem. And I should be fine with this area. I'm going to just draw whenever required. I don't grid the whole thing. Oh, why not? I'm going to just do this one as well, just as a reference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here. So as I said, for some reason, when I look at this design, I'm just thinking 14 counts. It's got that slightly fluffy feel to it. It's a bit like dry flower, and dry flower I'm working on 10 stitch on a 22 count. This one just screaming 14 counts to me. And I happen to have this fabric, the spare one from one of my stitching kits, the 14 count ones. It's a large piece, so I've got plenty of fabric there to work on. Rose asks what marking pen you're using. So this is from Clover, and I got this a long time ago. You can tell that the inks got rubbed off, but it's from Clover. It's a really good brand for this pen. They do different colors as well. I've got a blue one, I've got a pink one, I've got a purple one. So it depends on the fabric. So I before I use it on Ada, I use them for sewing and stuff like that. Really handy, and they don't fade away. They might fade a little bit, but these pens are come with an eraser, and which is kind of solution there. You actually don't need it because you can just use water. But if there's any mistake there, let's say there's a little bit smudged, I'll just rub it over and instantly it's gone. So I'm not worried about it. It will come off. So this is a really good pen. And right, and the floss, this is the key. I'm going to use DMC. This is actually DMC floss, because all the 14 counts I either use CXC or I use the floss that come with the cross stitching kits. Most of the 14 counts I have, they come as a kit. But this piece, because it's got this quite delicate kind of, even the white area, I want a little bit of shine to it. And DMC's got that natural gloss. And in my mind, it just makes sense because CXC tends to be more matte. And I want this one to have that almost slightly glossy look finish to it. So I'm using my DMC set there, and 2/1. So very typical for 14 counts. So I'm going to use up a lot more DMC plus more consumption, because 1/1 you use, very little at a time. But with these nice big stitches, I'm going to use up a little bit more DMC. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Deep breaths. DMC, by the way, it's pretty pricey over here. So, 25 is fine. Use tiny bit at a time. Right. Dan says that I'm grading my next project and want to do at least half before I work on my current project. But be mindful though, if you grid the whole thing, just make sure it's accurate, because if you just miss one row or one column, like one stitch, the rest is incorrect. That's why I only grid a little bit at a time, because I just don't trust myself. So here I'm going to give you a little bit of a markup reference there. And also I'm going to show you my Saga app at the same time, just for fun. It's sometimes interesting to see how the stitches, the symbols are distributed on the, on the screen. So I'm going to leave that view there. And let me have a look. Oh, Nikki Stitchy says, I'm going to purchase a mini the old kitchen because of Yogi. Yes, I'm known as the pattern pusher, Yogi. That's my full name right there. Yes, the full cross stitches, great. They look like little beads. They're so pretty. They're so pretty. And if I move to the white part, it's a mixture of pink and cream, and it just has that tiny little bit of a gloss to it. It's lovely. It's such a pretty piece. So I think a little bit gloss is lovely, and maybe, just maybe, by the next Valentine, this will be done. There is hope there. So it might as well start early, right? So here we go. 2/1, 14 count. So there's a little bit of blue sort of tint to the fabric. It's not white. So from here, I'm going to work on going to flow from the colors that's got minimum amount of stitches and flowing up to the highest. That's my preference. And so let's see what then the first color is. Let me just quickly change the highlight to red. I think it might help me to identify it a little bit better. So you can change the color of the highlight. And let's see how far we can go with these 6 blocks, this area today. And by the way, Nikki, that piece is so pretty, the kitchen. is my dream kitchen, the countryside, stately house kitchen, whatever it is. And it's from Charo Machete, if I remember, another one of my favorite designers. So my favorite currently is Amy Stewart and Kim Jacobs, which is artist of this piece, and Charo Machete. Definitely. I probably butchered that name. Apologies. Anyone who can speak Italian, then you can, please correct me. 3685. 3685. So how do you celebrate 1st of July? Sorry, 4th of July. Is it fireworks or what would be the thing to do? Barbecue? 3681. A5. 3685. Here we go. The first color to go. Adri, welcome. Yes, you made it. Wonderful. And then I had a look, had a Google of, those needles, Karen Needlebug was raving about, Bowen's. They're actually not that easy to find in the UK, I find. There are a couple of places that sell them. Some of them charge a fortune. 6 needles or 5 or 6 needles is about £5 or maybe £4, something like that. But I found one place, maybe Lakeside Fabrics or something like that, and it's a little bit more reasonable, just around £2. So I might give it a try, place an order. 4 here and 3 from above. Gabja, welcome. I know I probably butcher your name. Apologies. I try to pronounce it as it's written as much as I can. Oh, actually, I can't do loop here, so I'm going to do just a full cross here to tuck it down. That's my second choice of start method. Whenever I can, I do a loop. I love loop start. But it's not always possible. Let me just move it up a little bit. So you can see a little bit more. Here we go. I've got this cupcake here. Has to match the piece, the fill to it. Needle miters are very important. And because it's just single stitch for the security of the thread, instead of doing a tuck-in, sometimes just tuck in within a stitch. But when it's a single stitch, it might not be as secure. So I'll do a pin, a quick pin stitch to anchor that. I'm going to stitch over it so you can't see it. Won't be able to see it. And for those of you who don't know, that Heaven and Earth is half price at the moment. Heaven and Earth patterns. So if you want some new patterns, now is the time. 3685. 3685. Oh, fireworks and barbecue. There you go. And the weather is perfect for that, isn't it? It's just great opportunities to do stuff like that. 3760. 3760. It's beautiful blue. Just one stitch. So with this method, you start with colors got least number of stitches. So very often you start planting single stitches and then gradually move up. And when you move up, it gets really fast. It's scary. This is one of, I'm by no means a fast stitcher, but this method actually allows me to stitch a bit faster. So it's good fun. And I like the fact that you can just block off an area and just work on it. It's almost like some people like to work page by page. It's kind of a version of that, just smaller area. And you can define any number of stitches or blocks with this app, which is very, very unique. A lot of freedom there. Okay, one stitch here, 3, 7, 6, 0. 6, 0. Oh, Stitchy Dutchy says, I heard from someone who's half Italian. It's pronounced Macchetti. Okay, because CI, what about the first name then? Is Cairo or Cyro? Or Chiro? I really don't know. Yes, the lack of Italian speaking ability right here, happening live on the stream. Next one, A23. A23. I feel so rude if I mispronounce one of my favorite artist name. I feel bad about it. A23. And here we go. A23. Really dark blue. It's easier to pick. So 2 strands I'm using. Normally if I like CXC, I use them for a lot of 2-strand projects. So I tend to cut the strands, the thread a little bit longer, but I'm using the DMC. So DMC I normally cut a little bit shorter. So instead of folding an already pretty short length, I'm just pulling 2 strands and stack them to make them a little bit longer, so I don't have to change. Get a new thread all the time. Also, you create more waste. If they're too short, you fold in half, you just end up having to throw away more end bits. And I don't want to do that. I believe all the threads are there to be stitched. And don't want to waste anything if I can possibly help it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 from there. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. Hey, Janelle's here. It's good morning from Janelle's, wherever Janelle is. Oh, River says, I just finished one by, is it Chiro, Macchetti, a piece called It's About Me. Okay, I'm not familiar with that piece. But this artist is so prolific because I had a browse on Heaven and Earth, thinking that I might have another piece that I'm interested. Not that I need more projects, but, you can't help it. And my God, there are tons and tons by this artist. But the styles are very different from these ones, most of them. They're more sort of fantasy themed, which is, if you like that kind of stuff, that will be your cup of tea for sure. I'm going to tuck that in there. Another one stitch, A23, A23, going back. Next one, 3A62, 3A62, 62. Yes, it's a brown. I'm gonna just take one piece here. We're in 62. Oh, Janelle, is it cold over there? 1.1 degree. My goodness. Is it in Australia, wherever it is? Have I got it correctly? Frost everywhere. That is so surreal. That is quite surreal. 4th of July, you have frost. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. And 2 from above. Today, London is still warm, but not scorching like a couple of days ago. It was ridiculous. Janelle says yes. That's so interesting though. But you're going to be laughing when it's winter over here, right? when everybody, like toward Christmas, when everybody's going, it's snowing. You'll be barbecuing. So it's all fair. Three A 62. So drink of choice today. I'm being good. I'm drinking peppermint tea. So yesterday, for some reason, I was feeling a little bit sniffly during yesterday's stream. But luckily, after some sleep, I'm feeling better. I just don't need a coat right now. Absolutely don't need a coat. 3740. Let me see. 3740. One stitch over here. Let's see. Three, 7. I think when a piece has got so much kind of pale color backgrounds, my instinct is just wanting to stitch some strong colors. It just is. And I'm going to just bring it down here. And yesterday I had a little look of Heaven and Earth design. just when I thought I won't buy anything, I'll just have a look. Guess what? 3740. You know what happened? But I'm not going to tell you which one I bought just yet. It's going to be a surprise when I want to work on it. And then in order for that to happen, I'll probably need more fabric. So for now, thankfully, I don't have the fabric for it. Or I might just go straight in. It's such a beautiful piece. 597. 597. Heaven and earth is dangerous. Yeah, exactly, Janelle. You'll be laughing in the winter, laughing at all of us, all those people that who are barbecuing today, having picnic. It'll be your turn to laugh at them and look at them with pity. One stitch here. And do a quick tuck in. When I looked at the markup of this piece, I thought the whole thing was going to be very, very pale and light. But if you look at the colors here, it's actually a lot more, more weighty, I think, than what the markup shows. I know it's just a representation. 597. And that makes me happy because I'm always slightly worried when I work on something that's very light, has a lot of, cream color. I don't have many pieces like that because I prefer strong colors in general. 370. 370. $370. Nikki Stitchy says, if you tell us, we can all buy it and start it together. Oh, you're trying to tempt me. Nikki, that's a wicked idea. But all of us are waiting for the new Amy Stewart piece, aren't we? The cat one. Once that comes out, yes, we're gonna just run to Heaven and Earth Design, get a copy, and we're gonna start together. That is the plan. So brace yourself. Brace yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's going to be mandatory piece for this chat. You have to prove that you have a copy of that pattern before you're allowed to chat. Even if you have a crown on at the moment, you'll be banned. No, I'm kidding. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be epic stitch along. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Nikki, you're not a cat person. Maybe you will be once you stitch it. But they've got a dog version. because somebody on the chat was stitching it. I can't remember which one. And we looked at that, and you know, I hadn't seen that piece before, and I had a look at it. I was just joking. I kind of said, well, thank God there isn't a cat version, because I'll just have to buy it. And then someone else says, yeah, that's the one we're waiting for, from Amy Stewart. So there you go. 370. And this piece, if you look carefully, there are two kitties on the bottom left there, in case you missed them. Oh, can't wait. 3A60. Let me see how many one stitches I've got for this part. Oh, so this one's got two then. Okay. Where's the other one? I only see one here. 3A60. Okay, so this is the last single stitch. 3A60. It's worth working on sort of, you know, single stitches first, because then, you know, it's just easier rather than having to come back to find them. If you do it the other way around. 3A60. Just one stitch, one stitch. Oh, everyone, your family's allergic to cats. I'm so sorry to hear that. But it's a good job you're not particularly into cats, because imagine if you love cats as much as I do, but allergic to them. Geez, that wouldn't be fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 3 from above, from below. 1, 2, 3, 4. The only thing you need to be mindful when you plant these single stitches is very, very easy to get them one stitch off or something like that, because there isn't a lot of reference point. So it's worth counting carefully. I'm going to do a quick pin stitch with this one, because there isn't any surrounding stitches. Oh, Joyce doesn't like cat either. Yes, Brittany, Library of Dogs. So maybe it was you. You brought up that piece, and I remember Googling it. Yes, and there's a cat one coming out. So I'm doomed, basically. I have to get that one. I already know that. 150. 150. Two stitches. I'm moving out. Moving up number of stitches now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here. Tuck in here. I mean, all these mini patterns, you know, mini versions, I bought maybe most of them at least 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago in the very beginning. And I'm glad I didn't just rush and try to stitch them all, because having waited for a couple of years, and also have learned all sorts of things from larger pieces, I'm kind of looking at them in a different way, because when I first got them, I just perceived them as being easier because they're smaller. But now I don't necessarily think so. They have their own challenges. And also, I don't see mini versions as a kind of easy option. I don't think so. I respect them as, as solid pieces on their own, in their own right. And next one, 3A, 3/6, 2 stitches. 3A, 3/6. One, two, 1, 2, 3. All these colors are just so pretty. And thinking whether I should cut it. Now let's take it all away there. Camry, hello. Good to see you. Welcome. Come join the party. Oh, River's just got the bow needles. Yes, that's exactly what I think. I just need to know what a fuss is about. Yes, exactly. The only way to find out is to try it. 3A, 3/6. I think they're French made, I think. A DMC as well. John James. I don't know where John James is coming from. Is he British? I'm not sure. I need to Google. 3858. 3858. Lovely. 2 stitches. Oops. Oh, River loves cat, but husband is very allergic. But there's an easy solution. Just get a new husband. What are you waiting for, River? The solution is right there. I had birds when I was a kid. My parents kept some, I can't remember what they're called. They're white birds, really clever. Not parrots. Uh, they're just pure white, really pretty. And but we lost them when I went to college. This one here. So one more stitch. Let me see if I can use this tiny piece for one more stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This way of stitching is quite fun to do because you don't know what you're stitching until you start to build up more kind of seemingly random stitches everywhere, and then you realize, so this is what it was. Element of surprise. It's always good. You know, so for me to date anyone, the entry qualification would be I'll bring some of my cat's hair, and then I'll ask them to sniff the hair. If they start, you know, sneezing, then yeah, I'll go next. Next. I'm sure you're a very nice gentleman, but you know, it's just not gonna work out. 352. 352. 352. Oh, this is a new color I haven't got yet. 352. So I'm going to grab it from my cupboard. 352 live on the stream. So with this piece, I didn't really try to kit it up. I just kind of add threads as I go. So now it's come to the point. There's one color I haven't got, so I'm pulling out my DMC drawer here. So I need 352, which is a nice light burgundy. 356, 352. Not this one, similar. 356 here, but I need 352, a bit lighter. Oh, got it. There you go. Adding new color live on the internet, live on the stream. And there's only 217 stitches out of this color, so I don't need tons. So I'm going to make them a little bit longer just for this piece. Um, 3 by 2 here. So I'm doing 2/1, so I want this thread to be a little bit longer than a single strand. So 352. And once you build up sort of the colors on your organizer, I'm using a single organizer for one brand of floss. It's very easy to move on to a new project because majority of the colors you already have. It's just a matter of adding the ones you don't have as you go, because some colors you might not come across for ages. So there's no need to do a whole lot. Yeah, I actually had a boyfriend at one point that he had a mild well, when we started dating, he kind of go, well, you know, I've got some allergy, because he was allergic not only to cats, he was allergic to peanuts, you know, seafood, basically anything can kill him. You know, if I ate some peanuts and I even come close to him, he could get allergy. So he always carried those, you know, those pen that you can stab yourself on the thigh in order to stop yourself from dying, basically. And so it was a little bit scary. But when we started dating, he kind of go, well, you know, I'm mostly allergic to peanuts. Cats might be okay, you know, very mild. They'll be okay. You know, that's what people say when they came to date you. And then the reality hit, that to the point that he literally had to escape from my flat in the middle of the night. Literally escape so he could breathe. It's no joke. 352. I'll see you later, Joyce. Did Joyce get? Oh, Nikki, hello. Yes, Nikki, bye. Thanks for dropping by. It's really good to see you. Have a great rest of the day. 352. So, literally had to escape from my house. So that wasn't fun. Yes, catch you later, River. Enjoy your meal and come back to join us when you can. 315. 315. Please don't say such things. I mean, your parrots might be reading the chat. You don't want to know your cunning plan. River says, my birds are so sassy, I'm about to lose them. Make some parrot nuggets. Oh dear. It's that bad, is it? Parrot nuggets. A new snack. One more stitch here. Actually, let me take it down here because the color is more similar, just in case it shows through. To tuck in there. I love this method because so easy. And oh, so Dan has a dog. I love dogs too. It's just my lifestyle makes it harder to have a dog because you really have to be very routine and walk them at a certain time. And it's just a bit challenging for me. 3801. I adore dogs as well. 3801. Okay, we've got it. Throwing balls, yeah. I know. Yeah, but dogs and cats are so different. You know, dogs, they're part of, they see you as the boss. You know, they want to follow orders and they're happy to be trained. Oh, cats wouldn't have any of that. They train you to be obedient, to do what they want. Very, very different kind of dynamic. Ooh, very pretty color here. 2 stitches here. And I'm going to take it over here. Trying to think where to. And the thread. If the colors are too different, you know, sometimes the color could show through, but this one, perfect. Can't see. Three A01. 3A01. Oh, so you used to have cats then? You used to have cats, and then just last year you got a dog. Wow. Do they get along? Because I constantly see Instagram videos of cats and dogs and rabbits and ducks. They all get along really well together. You kind of go, yeah, really? Is it that easy? 3364. 3364. Well, I think maybe because the pets, they're domestic, they're not in a survival mode. So maybe fundamentally, they really have no need to fight with each other. The typical the sort of idea of cats and dogs don't get along. I think it's only applicable when they're in the survival mode. They have to fight, in a kind of chain of hierarchy. But when that's taken away, when they're just being looked after, they really have no need to do any of that, I think. One, two. Yeah. Two stitches. One, two, three. This one, I'm going to do a pin stitch. There. 3364. Right, so they do get along. I think if one of them is kind of a puppy or a kitten younger, there's a better chance for them to kind of um, form a relationship. Probably harder for grown-up animals. It really depends. The temperament as well. They're so different individually. 894, 894. Lovely, lovely pink. River, have you have you just informed your parrot you're going to make them turn them into nuggets, and they just roll their eyes and go, whatever, you know, whatever. Yeah, right. Like you're gonna do that. They've got you, totally, River. Yeah, cats, they totally know they own you. It's like, yeah, you can threaten with anything. try to stop them from scratching this and that, the other. They know ultimately there's no consequence. It's just, they just, they just do what they want. And you're going to work around them, That's just the way it works. Two, 894. Choice. What is Sideranian? Oh, that's Joyce's dog. 3706. 0637. Here we go. So this one, 2 stitches as well. Let me just take 1 strand actually, because, well, actually 2. I'm going to take 2. Yeah, exactly, River. They know they totally own you. I mean, just look at how happy dogs are when they see you, right? The tails are wagging, they're running around like crazy. And with cats, they kind of, particularly if you go away, if I ever leave the cats with a nanny or something, cat sitter, and if I'm just away for like 2 days, like a weekend, when I come back, I literally have to earn them back. It's not like they're not going to run to you and go, oh, mommy, I miss you. No way. You literally have to bribe them. You have to do things for them and talk to them for half an hour before they will come to you. That's the kind of relationship we have. They're the bosses. I know. I know. Animals are like that. They know they totally own you. Two stitches of these ones. So lovely to stitch. Some days you just want 14 counts. And it's great because each stitch takes up 4 stitches of the real estate comparing to 25 counts or something like that. And instantly you can see you actually build up the fabric a lot quicker, clearly. And it's so lovely. It's very satisfying. 2. Do a lot of pin stitches today. 3706. um, is it Sherry's, right? Sherry's and Stitches, welcome. She says, my cats are so loved, also love to be around me, but they like to pretend they're just coincidence. Coincidence, we're always in the same room, I know. And it's always coincidence they're on your lap, right? They're just somewhere to sleep, no biggie, you know. It's not like I like you or anything, it's just, I'm just here. I know. 738. And my cat Dolly, she's got a thing about testing the emergency entrance, so to speak. So I've got cat flap, so she's free to go out, come in anytime she wants. But every other day, she would be sitting outside the window, staring at me, like, "Oh, I'm being locked out. I'm being locked down." And I go, "Dolly, you've got your cat flap. It's just right there. Go use it." And she would just keep staring at me and meow as if I'm about to abandon her. And I think she's just testing to see if I'm paying attention. To see, well, if the cat flap is not working, are you going to pay attention to me and let me in? So she would do that every couple of days for no particular reason, just to train you. So you're paying attention to her. And of course, I obey. 1, 2, 3. Seven, 3, 8. I think I fancy a piece of chocolate. I think it's the chocolate time. And today, the plain one. Cheers. Two here. 318. Start. Oh, I'm up to 3 stitches now. So moving up in numbers. Here we go. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Two more down here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. The DMC floss, the threads, they will have a slight gloss to them, which is quite nice for some pieces. But for something like dry flowers, the pattern, I prefer the CXC more matte finish. 318. Ooh, from 3 to 5 suddenly. 3 stitches per color, now 5, 930, 930. One more strand. So this one has got only about 400 stitches. The entire piece. Joy says, I'm doing the same method, but by page. And I'm up to 3 to 8 stitches for this color. Oh my God. 3 to 8. So what app are you using, Joyce? Do you are you able to move up the number, or you just pick sort of whichever color you like and complete the color? So for one page, but do you move in a certain order, or you kind of just pick, I wouldn't say random, but kind of, you know, not following a particular order? Because page by page, people tend to go horizontally or vertically or staircase, isn't it? Whereas I'm going a slightly random direction, just pick whichever area I like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inspiration taken from the checkerboard. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you think about it, if you don't park, really, there's no need to follow a certain order. It might be nice to build up the design as you go, but ultimately, you know, it's inconsequential. But if you park, yeah, you probably need to work in a certain order. One, two more here. Did I have that one? No. 1, 2. Ah, Joyce is using markup XP. Yes, yes, that's true. Markup XP per page, you can sort the number of stitches. That's quite right. Yes. So you could do the minimum to max, max to minimum number of stitches per color if you're working page by page on markup XP. That is very true. 3 here. And the current color's got 300 and something. Yeah, it's always nice when you see the number going up because you know you don't have to switch colors as frequently, and it gets faster as well. Three, 9:30. $3.30. Dan says, I use Pattern Keeper, bought an Android tablet for it. Join the club. That's what I did as well. I'm an Apple person. I bought an Amazon Fire just for the app. But she has Markup and Saga on my iPad. Exactly the same setup as me. So I'm using Saga on iOS. But my Markup, it used to be on my iOS, but I wanted to keep it so I can use the same tablet for on Android. So I have both Markup and Pattern Keeper on Android. But Markup has, you can use on either platform, so it's quite handy. But unfortunately, once the subscription is platform specific, so you can't, I'm not able to use the same subscription on iOS because I bought it on Google Play Store, which just sucks a little bit. I would like to be able to, do both or either. 612. 612. I think there's some kind of early adopters for Markup. They're able to, because in the early days, before they switched to subscription, you used to be able to just buy it one-off. But after a while, if you come a little bit later, like I did, you have to pay every year. Joey says, I normally use Pattern Keeper, but just for this page, I switched Markup. I've got Saga. Okay. So couldn't get Paradise working. Oh, Joyce. So I presume you're working on Android. Do you have... If you have Paradise on Android, yeah, you do need a code for upgrade, unfortunately, at this stage. But there's a desktop version. The link is on my community post. I posted all the details you need. There's a free desktop version of Paradise, which you could use to convert. So that's an option. Because Saga is really good for this. So you don't have to work page by page. You can define any number of stitches, not even block by block. I can literally have, like a triangle shape. It allows you to shape it in diamond shape, whatever it is. It's pretty crazy that you could do this. 612. So I think per page for me is probably too big. My comfort zone is about 6 blocks that I feel good. I'm not going to get lost. Because I tried it once on Markup IXP, do it one page at a time, but It's not the app's fault, it's the fact that I used it on a scanned paper version. So if you import from the paper pattern, sometimes it misses some symbols. So when you go from minimum to maximum, at the end, I just left with a lot of stitches that didn't get picked up by the app, and I had to go back and fix. So that wasn't that much fun. 317, 317, 5 stitches. 317. 317. I do have one here. Yes, Dan. In order to use Saga, because they it only accepts dot dies, which is a kind of unique file format. It doesn't accept PDF. So it has been the kind of challenge for people who try, who really want to use Saga. But there are ways you could do that. There's Paradise has released the desktop version, which is free to download, that you could use, you could do the conversion on the computer. Or if you're lucky to get a code, I was quite lucky to get one from Karen from Needlebug. But I don't know how available they are in terms of the code, because if you have the code, you can upgrade your free Paradise version to Pro. So, and you can't upgrade right now because the Google Play Store does not allow them to make any profit because they're Russian developers. So until that silly situation is resolved and go away, people have to find different ways to upgrade them, the files. Once you convert the files, it's easy peasy. You just load it onto Saga and it just works. One, let me see, I have to start marking them, otherwise I'm gonna lose my way. 2 over there. 2, oh, how strange. That one I haven't done. How does that work? Okay, 2, 3, here, done. See, just 5 stitches, I'm already getting lost. 5, okay, here. Oh, Joy says try the desktop version. It didn't work. Okay, Java error. Okay. Yeah, it is a little bit fiddly. But Joyce, get in touch with Karen. Karen does have some magic one there who might be able to help you, because if you like stitching this way, Saga is really, really good. Yeah, I haven't tried the desktop because I was lucky enough to get the code from Karen. But I'm sure Karen will be very happy to help you. 453? No. 3
317. I think I missed one color there. Don't know what's going on there. There's one there. I haven't stitched these ones. 612. 612. That's right. That's right. Okay. All is good. 612. 612. Oh, Senga says, I'm an Android girl, so I use Pattern Keeper. Can't get away with Apple. um, well, Joyce, yes. I kind of wonder why Saga doesn't make it compatible with PDF. There may be technical issues, but the thing is, I say don't hold your breath, because I have seen posts dated back maybe 5 years of people online on the forums asking, kind of saying, well, maybe I'll just wait out a little bit, and Saga might, come up with some sort of PDF conversion system. But that was 5 years ago. They haven't done it. And for reasons I don't know, because there's a vast, vast market over here for people who use a lot of PDFs, heaven and earth for one. Majority of pattern providers, they use PDFs. So I don't know, for whatever reason, they don't do it. They don't, they don't accept the PDF conversion. And that situation might persist for a little bit. I don't know why that is. Because if they're able to build in what Paradise has within Saga, that conversion capability, the door opens. The whole wide world will use the app because it's so good. So, and 5 years later, they haven't done it. So, I don't know. One here, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But definitely have a word with Karen. The pocket here and the thread. Six, 1, 2. One, 3, 7, 4, 5, 3. 4, 5, 3. Oops. Chocolate time. Five stitches. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, River should know that. River is the expert. Saga expert. Two. Two more down here. And then 6 blocks. It's definitely my comfort zone. If I start to wander too far, I get very lost. But if it's just 2 blocks, then it feels a little bit restricted. So 6 is good. Let me see. Why don't I tuck it there? Four, 5, 3. So Dan has the same issue there. When you say I got it downloaded, do you mean Paradise or Saga? Because Paradise is the conversion tool you need. I haven't tried the desktop thing, but 3, 8, 30. 6 stitches, yay! 3, 8, 30. Three, 8, 30. Hey, Gayla. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Yes, then, if you've got Paradise, the app, on your Android, you still can't convert it until you can't do the conversion until you upgrade it to Pro. And that's where the issue right now is, because people are not allowed to pay for the Pro version because of Google. Google Play punish them for being Russian. Just think of that. And just ban them from making any profit from their hard work. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Google. Nice one. Hey, Dolly. There you are. How are you, babe? How are you, baby? Ah, so you downloaded it on your Mac. So you tried the desktop version and that didn't work for you either. Ooh. Yeah, I remember reading on the page. They do give you a lot of instruction, but I don't think it's that accessible because it involves some sort of Java plugin thingy. It probably depends on, because not many people are comfortable or familiar with downloading that kind of stuff, you know. So I get it. I just hope Google will fix this situation very soon, because it's so pointless. I don't know what they're doing. But ultimately, I think it would be good to make the desktop app work. If someone has made it work before, please chip in and help the guys. Because even if the Pro version came back that you were allowed to upgrade, you still need to have access to Android. So if you already have Pattern Keeper, then that's fine. But a lot of people don't use Android tablets or devices. So the issue is still there. So the desktop version will give, you know, will remedy the situation. Three A30. Three A16. 3A16. A tiny piece here. Let's see if we can manage 6 stitches with this. Ooh, the challenge. The challenge. That's all I've got. Six stitches. They're pretty close together, so I might be able to get somewhere with this. One. I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it a little bit. Might not be able to manage 6 stitches. I think it was 1/1, 25 counts might be okay, but these are big stitches. Use this up. More thread. 3 more. Two more. That's all I've got. Extreme stitching. Yes, live. Maybe, just maybe. Hang on. Oh, that's not looking good. Give me one more stitch. Do it. Yes, one more leg, please. Give it to me. You know you can do it. Yes. Yes. Yeah. 6 stitches. A tiny piece. Oh, with some to spare. Not bad. And I've got this much left. I've served this piece of thread well. I'm very proud. There's some intense thread chicken. That's how I roll. That's how I roll. That's, you know, live on the edge a little bit. Nine hundred. I don't want a sweet chicken. I need a crown. That's what I need. 900. So moving up to 7 stitches in this area. 7 stitches per color. Sip on my tea. That's very kind, Shadow. That's what I need. A trophy. A thread chicken trophy. That's me. One, two, three. It's fun when you're starting to kind of take shape, start to form into something. Even though roughly I know what I'm stitching, but it's still a thrilling to know. and one above. Gail says you're the queen. I'm now stitching on 3 projects at once, simultaneously. That is amazing. Like, but you only have 2 hands. How do you stitch 3 projects at a time, at the same time? That's amazing. Are you using your toes as well? I think 2 hands simultaneously on 2 different projects. It's doable, right? 3 might be pushing a bit, but 2, yeah, in theory, if you fix the stands, you know, make them kind of quite sturdy, then you could just can stitch 2 projects at the same time. I know, Gail. I know what you meant. I didn't really think you were using both hands and the toes, stitching at the same time. So do you mean that prior to coming to the channel, you used to stitch 1 at a time? Oh, then my job is done. I've converted another person to be less monogamous. That's always a good thing. Three A, 3-5, 3A, 3-5. Three A, 3-5. Yeah. This one's a little bit longer. I have to manage 7 stitches, quite spread out. Let's see how it goes. River's back. Yeah, I'm still stitching. I'm a slow stitcher, remember? It takes 3 times longer than regular stitcher. I hope you enjoy your dinner. And I hope your parrot is still with us. And I think we need some proof of life, you know, some pictures of your parrot with timestamp and today's newspaper. And 2 from here. Ooh, running a little bit short here, but I think we can manage. 2 more stitches. Extreme sport of stitching. Pushing it to the limit. This is what I've got. I think I deserve another medal. Do it, do it, do it. Yes. There, everyone. Will power taste like chicken? Everything tastes like chicken then. And that one. That's a great idea, River. They seem to be very helpful because the developers of Saga and Paradise as well, they're happily communicating with the users. So that's a good thing. They might be able to help you, give you some pointers. And I really think it sounds like a lot of hassle for an app, but it's worth it. It's really worth it. I will not lie to you. It's worth the hassle. Oh, not a short one. Jesus. Okay, this one doesn't seem that bad. I've got 8 stitches to manage, but one stitch is a little bit far away. So I think, let me see how I'm going to approach it. Do you think I'm gonna do these ones at the bottom first? And if I need to, I will end the thread and take it to the second location. My strategy. It makes me sad when I have to throw away a piece of the thread. Just feeling I'm letting the thread down. It didn't get stitched. Two. One more here. So there are 2 more stitches, but they're on the far upper right. Okay, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take this thread over and maybe just about manage it. One last one. Yes, I think we're good. A little bit to spare. Yay! It's gonna be like this, is it, tonight? Race against chicken. Right. 9 stitches, 3, 8, 3, 1. 3, 8, 3, 1. Oh, Dan says I have a mason jar I keep nearby, and I put all my small ants there. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I have them. Have you seen? Have you seen Gemma Stitches? I can't remember whether it was maybe it was on Instagram. She popped them into a kind of container DIY kind of bobo thing, and she just stuffed all the remaining leftover threads in them, and then they turn into this multicolor thing that you can turn it into a decoration. Let me see if I can find it. I found that so charming. I never thought about doing that, but let me have a look because it's really worth sharing that. It's under slightly different name, so that's always a little bit hard to find. Gemma, I think it's Gemma. Let me have a look, because I just saw it the other day and I thought, oh, that's such a great idea. Gemma Stitches, what is your handle? Oh yeah, got it. And I'm going to show you, okay. So I'm going to just turn this on. I saw it the other day. Oh, there you go. There it is. There it is. Let me do the auto. Yeah. That's how it's done. Christmas ornament. Yes, exactly. That is so sweet though. You know, that's such a sweet idea. That's, I think, what I'm going to do. I think you can get those DIY ones, maybe from Amazon or something like that. Oh, so sweet. So there you go. Yes, I love Gemma as well. I love her methods. It's what I used for yesterday's project. And yeah, she's just so calming. She mostly does 14 count, so it's quite refreshing to watch. Like the majority of people on YouTube, they tend to do smaller stitches, like 25 and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with that. But 14 counts, they're beautiful and also require skills as well. Just because the stitches are bigger doesn't mean it's easier to stitch. In fact, it might be more care you have to put into the way you stitch, because the two strands, sometimes they twist, against each other. And the skill would be how to keep them nice and smooth without getting all twisted. Whereas one strand, you don't need to worry about that much. One more down here. Then it says my current project is 16 counts. I've done 11 and 14. I haven't done 11. I'd love to try 11s. Must be quite interesting to do. They were from kids. But my next project is 22. I want to get up to 25 just because I live in a small apartment. I don't have a lot of extra space. Ha! But then 25 counts. They tend to be larger projects. At least if you do heaven and earth, which means you probably end up with pretty big piece of fabric anyway. So, but yeah, it's just interesting to do different counts. They stitch very differently. Very differently. And 3 stitches here. And the way you do it is very sensible. You kind of slowly moving up rather than jumping from 14, 11 counts to 25. I'll probably give your system a shock, at least for your eyes. Three here, there's one more. One more, 1, 2. I'm gonna end it here. Oops. We have a sip of the water. I'm moving up to 10 stitches. Stitches. 3, 6, 8, 8. It's so colorful. There's just a lot going on here. Right. In fact, I'm going to start from here. I think once you get up to about 22 and 25 will be so much easier. It's not that different. I'm thinking about if I were to start a new project, whether I should go for 28. So I haven't really stitched 28. But I know some people stitch 32. Dear oh dear. 4. I think most design, they work quite well for 25 in terms of definition, quite high depth, a lot of details. I don't know whether there's any need to go smaller other than the fact it's a challenge. Oh, then so you have a magnifier. So a light as well. Okay. Yeah, I suppose that would definitely help. That would definitely help. And good lighting helps to start with. Two more. And one more here. Three, 6, 8, 8. Next. 9, 3, 1. 12 stitches. 9, 3, 1. Right. I might start from here. River asks, so Yogi, do you feel your thread organizers as you go? Do you have a space for each color? So in the very beginning, I think the first sort of large project I tried to kit up was the little cake shop. So at that time, I literally spent 3 days to kit all the thread together and put them on the organizer. But since then, I kind of try to build it up slowly because the little cake shop, it was max color. So, to start with, I have pretty much almost half of DMC colors already on my first organizer, first version of it. So I kind of just built from there. And let me see. So when you say, do you have space for each color? Yes. So my entire book, let me just quickly show you that. So for each book, for each brand of floss, I have a book which consists of from for DMC, that's the very beginning, those white ones, Blanc, etc. From 01, I've got all the cards up to, let me have a look, 3895, which I haven't used yet. So all these ones will be empty. So they're in, numbers order. So there's a space for each color as I add them. So I slowly build them up. But initially I did spend, proper time into building up the first set of thread. And knowing how much time it takes, because prior to that I was building individual floss organizers for each project when I was working with slightly less numbers, and that was laborious because first of all you use up duplication of floss for each set, meaning that you probably need more threads, floss than you need at that moment in time. And then I just started to consolidate everything together. And it's a lot easier. So I just add as I go, because sometimes within the same, within the project, there's some colors you probably don't come across till years later, depending on how long. Depends on how long you spend for each project. So you could have everything there. It's a peace of mind, but at the same time, I've got a whole set of DMC there, so I know if I ever need a new color, it's there for me. So there isn't sort of any urgency to have everything there at one go. It can be exhausting kitting up things, so I'd rather just add the colors as I go. It's been working well, and the less, more projects you have, the less new colors you need to introduce because you just have so many of them already there. So for this one, yeah, so I had to add a few colors since, because it's using slightly different set of colors, and I just do it on a kind of need to know basis. Yeah, so the answer to your question, each set of thread organizer, floss organizer, there's space for every single color there. One, two, 5 more to go. So number of the stitches go up, it gets faster and faster, which is lovely. Gail asks, what size needle do you use for most of them? So for 1/1, 25 counts mostly. I use 28. I used John James needles mostly, mixed in with some DMC 28 count, 28 size. And for 2 strands, pretty much 14 counts, 14 counts upwards, up to 25. I use 26, size 26 needles. So the eyes are, plenty of space for 2 strands, quite easy to thread. And that's it. That's pretty much. I've got some 24 that I use for some sampler projects prior to kind of, doing all of the full coverage. So I've got some 24 lying around as well. But mostly 28 or 26. Well, 28 for 1/1, 25 counts, and 26 for pretty much everything else. So just two sizes. 350. And the size of needles, I think, is up to, within reason, I think it's up to preferences as well. Some people might want to go up a size. I've seen people using 26 for 1/1. It really depends. But for me, I prefer finer needles in general. It just feels better. River sparrows were screaming for bites of bell pepper. Oh, but why is the little parrot screaming? Doesn't she like, or he, like bell pepper, green pepper, as we call them in here? I love green peppers. I know they're a little bit bitter. Oh, but birds, they can actually eat really hot chilies, can't they? Because they don't have any sort of sensory, the taste buds do not detect hotness. Because one of my brothers, they've got I think it's a parrot or a type of parrot. And she was frequently fed hot chilies. It's really odd to look at. You just go, oh dear. For them, hot chili is probably sweet because they cannot taste the hotness. Not so crazy. So you can give them really, really hot chili, like death chili or whatever it's called. And they'll just eat it like it's sweets. Three here. My God, these colors are so pretty. One here. 1, 2, 3. Right here. Two more. One more. Cool. Three, 3, 5, 0. Chocolate time. $6.06. Fourteen stitches. Right. I'm going to start from here. And start to take shape into something. 1, 2, 3. Oh dear. Let me see. 1, 2, 1, 2. I think there's one stitch missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna just stitch over it. No one will know. One, two, three, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Becomery asks, what kind of stitching method are you using? Seems different from what I've seen you before. Yes, so I switch to different methods. Depends on the what I'm stitching, really. So the one yesterday that you saw was Gemma's method, kind of easing away from the edges. Whereas this one, yeah, it's a form of color completion, one color at a time. But I'm following the number of stitches per color from minimum to maximum. So the app is doing the calculation for me, moving from initially one stitch everywhere, complete all of them, and then it goes up for 2 if there's 2. So once that's completed, then it goes up based on the number. So currently I'm on around 14 stitches per color. So it's a different way of stitching. So the reason going from minimum to maximum is so that when you do, let's say 2 stitches, 1 stitch is just where it is, wherever it is, right? But if you have 2 within the area, the 2 stitches could be very far apart. One could be on the upper corner, upper right, one could be on bottom left. And most of the time you probably take your thread to the second location. And the same thing with 3 stitches, they may be scattered in different locations. So going from minimum to maximum allows the thread that you carry to the different location to be stitched down as you move up. I think you have option to do the opposite, but I just can't see how that is going to be beneficial, because once you get to, let's say you go for maximum number first, so that will cover majority of the space there. And then when you're down to single colors, again, if they're far apart, either you have to do 1 stitch at a time, stitch, end it, go to the second location, stitch and end it, or you're going to create floating thread at the back. So these are the kind of decisions you have to make when you stitch this way, and it's good fun because now I'm on about 14 stitches per color. It gets really fast, or faster in my book anyway. So as you can see, I'm going from this stitch to the upper right. That's the next stitch. And if all this area is stitched already, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'll probably stop, end the thread, and then go to the second place. But of course, some people don't mind floating thread. So I've seen some back of some people's projects that, frankly, gives me anxiety when I look at it. But it's just me. Some people don't mind. So, and also it's a conservation of the material as well. I mean, within reason, I travel with a thread, but I'm always mindful on how much material I'm wasting at the back. Good. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to end it. So you do one color at a time. So as far as this 6 blocks concerned, this color is done. So Senga says, I'm doing that on the flowers on my bee. The most colors than anchors down the floating thread. Yeah, exactly. So you're going from minimum to maximum as well. It makes more sense. And in my head, I'm kind of trying to work out why anybody would do maximum to minimum. It kind of creates a bit more problem there, even though you do have the satisfaction of going in, doing tons of stitches to start with, because single stitches in the beginning is slower. So it's a decision you have to make. 3, 3, 2, 6. 3, 3, 2, 6. And I think each project will probably communicate to you in some way. If you look at a pattern, for some reason they kind of just, they want to be stitched a certain way. And if you try to force it to do something different, it will fight back. You lose momentum, you get frustrated. 3, 3, 2, 6. But it doesn't mean that only one method works for one project. Depends on where you are in the project. Sometimes you want to be switched differently, as in changing methods, which happens a lot for my projects. Yes, a neater back as well. So I don't mind carrying the thread to another location. It feels a bit wasteful, but it's for the convenience I do that. But as long as it's over on stitch area, I wouldn't do that for the stitch area, because it just creates a lot of floating threads that goes everywhere, which I don't like. I don't want that. So from here, 2 stitches, start to fill up the space. This one's got 14. I'm still on 14 stitches per color. I was wondering, River, I said, what's 8 count? 28 counts. Are you still suffering? Have you not come to terms? Have you not found your zen within that project yet? Considering you've come so far. 28 counts. You haven't found peace in this war with 28 counts. And if I remember correctly, you were doing sort of 2/1. Was it 1/1? You're doing 10 stitches, correct? One, two, three here. Joy says, I don't mind floating stitches or ninjas, but I don't like stitching into spots with part threads. Oh, that's why Gemma's method does not work for me. That is true. Very often, well, not even Gemma's method. I think any kind of parking method, if you do color completion, at some point you're probably going to run into, well, I'm trying to think, if you do a more conventional block by block parking, you might not run into that situation. But yes, Gemma's method for sure. There will be occasionally stitch to stitches that, one of the corners is having a pass thread there. I had to get used to that as well. I remember in the beginning, that kind of that felt a bit clunky for me. It just feels like maybe it shouldn't be done like that, but I kind of got used to it. But your work is so neat though. You're anchoring your end threads. It's like just line them up like soldiers. It's so beautiful. Just look at. That's why I was drawn to your channel. I said, whoa, what kind of super neatness is that? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go have a look at Stitchy Duchie's channel. She's a YouTuber. YouTube. She's a floss tuber. And I'm trying to apply gentle pressure for her to make more content. No pressure, no pressure. No pressure, Joyce. Because I learn a lot from her. Two more. And I vaguely remember you've got one video. You literally took out a hairbrush, brushing your pass threads. I think that was you. I was so floored. Right, the last one here. So this fabric is slightly starched. So, and also it's new. you know, being used for the first time, like very recently. I think it will soften a little bit more. I don't mind it. I don't mind the stiffness because I like my tension quite tight. So it actually helps to give it more structure. 3326. Yeah, Joyce, I remember you were looking for solutions for your camera stand or something like that. I think you need a camera arm. That's what you need. 4 and 4. I know, Joyce. I think that's what I saw. Use a hairbrush to brush. Neat and tidy. It's just so neat. I just don't know how you can make it so neat. Oops. So this one is a little bit short as well. Two. It's gonna need a new thread at some point. It's got 15 stitches of this color. One, two. I'm going to do 2 of them and then end the thread. There. So Den's question is to Joyce, what are ninjas in this context? So Joyce, explain away. The art of ninja stitches. The history, the origin. One. Ten stitches left. 1, 2. Those stitches. They do ambush you. But if you're going from, so the way you're stitching page by page, Joyce, in theory, you shouldn't have any, right? Because at the end, just like I'm doing here, you deal with single stitches first, get them out of the way, and then, the final color would basically cover everything else that's unstitched. So you don't get any sort of ninja stitches lurking around, which is, kind of how I like this method, because I know that I won't have to go around and patch those loose stitches everywhere. That's no fun for me. Five more. 5 more of this color. Two. Three more. Oh, Joyce, well done. I'll see you later. Have a lovely evening. Have a great sleep. And I'll catch you again very soon. Night night, nighty night. The beauty sleep. Right, 414. 414. Seventeen stitches. 3774. So got quite a few stitches in this area. Oh, this one. I'm gonna stitch it down because sometimes when you leave a little tail at the back, sometimes they sort of poke out from the corner. Just push it down with the thread. I have to start a new thread because there are 2 stitches on the other end of the block. Oh no, maybe I can get away with 2 stitches with this tiny little piece. Maybe. Chicken time. Thread chicken time. The 2 stitches are together, so there's a better chance of succeeding. Oops, already came off. Let's have a look. One more below. I think we should be able to make it. Lovely. Easy peasy. Right. I am so proud. There's this bit left. Lovely. So 304. 304. That's a long piece. I'll be just fine. 18 stitches. River says, just when I think I'm not going to go anywhere, I get invited to a bonfire. Wow. Amazing. The husband's ready to roll. Yeah, good night. Enjoy it. A bonfire. Perfect. 4th of July. Enjoy it, and hobby as well. Have a great night, River. Bit of barbecue. Bit of bonfire. Two more here. It's a little ribbony thing shaping up. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Eight more. 1, 2, 3. So this is when I will probably do a pin stitch away to take the thread away from the stitch area, because the next stitch is actually down here. So if I just took the thread straight down, it will cross over a lot of stitches here, which I don't want to. So normally what I do is I take the thread away from the last location and do a pin stitch and then come back. So the floating thread will get stitched down as I complete this area. One more below. And from here, I think I'm going to end the thread and then take it to the next location, because the next stitch as nearest is up there. I don't want to take the thread all the way up there. It's quite easy to do. Just end the thread and then start in a new location. I feel better doing that. Occasionally, if I feel lazy, I'll just take all the thread over, the entire thread over. But this is 14 count, so the distance is a lot greater compared to 25. Three more. Two more. Beautiful. I think I'm going to go for another color. So this one, it's a lovely blue. 3765. 3765. And this will be my final color for this session. And then I'm going to show you how many stitches I've done today. So I've got 18 stitches. Three. Oh dear. One, two, three. Let me just have a look. I think it's 1, 2, Oh, I know what's happening. I stitch in the wrong spot. It's quite easy to frog, so I'm gonna frog it. It should be under here. I was thinking this shape doesn't match. It's just something not quite right. Here we go. It should be over here. That's better. Three. You can see there's a heart shape taking place there. I think the actual colors are still coming across stronger than the markup, which is nice. I like strong colors. Got 10 more stitches of this color here. I just get, it's getting faster and faster as the number increases, which is nice. There's 7 more. Four more. Last 4. Uh, 2 more here. Beautiful. Right, I'm going to tuck this thread in, and I'll show you my progress today. 3765. Right, let me zoom out a little bit. So today I'm working on this block underneath, and in terms of the entire piece, it starts from this block here, upper left. So if you missed the beginning of the session, basically what I've decided to do is, instead of taking the blocks to the right, to the bottom, which have very similar color scheme as this one, it's got kind of a frame. If I bring up the markup, if you look at upper left, basically the design itself incorporates a kind of a red rounded corner box there. So the reason I want to move away from that is to kind of avoid the boredom factor, to have, you know, two more 6-block areas stitching pretty much in a similar way. So I've decided that I'm allowed to move the blocks, the working area, away from each other as long as they're connected at the corners or on the edges. So I'm not going to float away from somewhere else to somewhere else, because that would just create a lot of problems in terms of accuracy of the location. But I'm also not going to form any particular shape. You know, I'm not going to do checkerboard as such. But the concept is kind of inspired from the checkerboard, because if you work within a designated area, it probably doesn't matter what you do with it. It's kind of independent. So I'm filling in color by color from minimum number of stitches and increase. So my final color would be mostly covering the entire background, which would be super fast. And that's how I did the previous 2 blocks as well. So it's super fun to do. So let me just quickly show you the number of stitches I've done today. Let me show you the app here. So I'm using Saga as a tracking app. So today, let me have a quick look. I've done, so we've crossed from Friday to Saturday. So I've done close to 400 today. Would you believe? That's super, super fast for me. So it's almost double the speed from other methods I use. I enjoy all sorts of stitching methods, and they, you know, some are faster than others, but this one is super fast. It's really quite amazing. Let me just zoom out a little bit more here. In fact, why do I do that? I can just show you the actual app. I need to plug it in. Really organized here. So, yes. So there you go. You can look at it on the screen. So, 369 plus 59. Yeah, it's over 400. If you look at the upper right there, which is quite astonishing for me. And on the left here, I've got about 382 stitches remains in this box here. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. The colors are really vibrant, really pretty, and I'm using DMC to give the stitches a little bit of shine. If you look at the whites, because normally 14 counts I use CXC, or floss comes with the stitching kits. They tend to be more matte, but for this project, I just feel like you need that little bit of glossiness to the floss. So I decided to use DMC. And let me just quickly look at here. Yes, so the general progress, if you look at the upper left, 2.5%, which is not bad at all, considering I just started this piece a few weeks ago, kind of slowly, working, you know, obviously with other whips at the same time. but because the method is super fast, and also I'm allowing myself to move around different areas of the fabric within reason, it will motivate me to come back. I mean, look at these colors, they're so pretty. And I'll continue to choose the areas next to the stitch areas that I'm interested in, and occasionally go back, maybe to fill out the more plain, sort of border area, and so on and so forth. So with that, I'm really enjoying today's session. Becoming says, love this one. Thank you so much. And yes, of course, before I go, I want to show you the entire mock-up. This is it. So I think the color from the colors on the mock-up looks more, kind of lighter with a white background. But in fact, if you look at the actual piece, the actual colors, it's a bit more creamy and more pink in it. So, but overall it's very, very pretty. And maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to finish it before the next Valentine. Don't hold your breath. I'm not gonna hold mine. So there you go. I'll just enjoy every block till I stitch, and yeah, just keep working on it along with other projects. So I'll be back and work on this piece at some point very soon. So thank you for all of you joining me today. If you're come on the chat, thank you for your contribution. And if you're watching in the background, I hope you enjoy too. If you're watching playback, then I hope you enjoy your session of stitching as well. So from here, let's look at the time. It's 34 past 12 midnight in London. So from here, peaceful London, I'm going to sign out. So I'm going to wave you good night, 99, and again, once again, happy 4th of July if you're in countries that celebrate that. Hope you have a great time, and I'll catch you very soon in the next session. And so have a good night. 99, 99 from London. Have a good one. Bye.